The inflatable tent was neatly packed, its sleek design making it compact and easy to carry. The excitement was palpable as the gear was loaded into the backpack, double-checking every item to ensure nothing was left behind. The crisp morning air hinted at adventure, and the forecast promised clear skies. This was the perfect day to test the innovative tent that claimed to redefine camping. Walking through the forest, the serenity of nature enveloped everything. The soft crunch of leaves underfoot and the faint rustle of the wind through towering trees created a rhythm. The trail was winding, occasionally disappearing under patches of moss or snow, but each step closer to the destination brought anticipation. Birds chirped sporadically, their melodies echoing through the stillness. Along the way, a small stream crossed the path, its icy water glistening in the sunlight. Stopping briefly to admire its clarity, the realization of being far from urban chaos became more profound. The inflatable tent remained top of mind. Its promise of quick setup without the hassle of poles or complicated instructions was intriguing. Traditional camping often meant struggling with rods that didn't align or fabric that refused to stretch. This innovation seemed to address all those frustrations, making it an ideal companion for both seasoned adventurers and beginners. The trail began to incline slightly, requiring more effort. Loose rocks and hidden roots added an element of caution, but this only heightened the feeling of being deep in nature. After several bends, the trees began to thin, and the destination revealed itself. A secluded clearing overlooking a tranquil river. The location was breathtaking. The water shimmered under the sun, reflecting shades of gold and blue, while the surrounding forest stood tall and majestic. Time was ticking, and the sun was already dipping toward the horizon. The urgency to set up camp quickly added a layer of focus. The chosen spot for the tent was flat and shielded by a cluster of pine trees, offering protection from potential winds. The ground was checked carefully, clearing away small stones and sticks to ensure a smooth surface. The backpack was unpacked methodically, each item placed within reach. The tent bag was unzipped, revealing its contents for the first time. The material felt sturdy yet lightweight, with reinforced seams that hinted at durability. The air pump, compact and efficient, seemed straightforward to use. Anticipation grew with every moment as the tent's potential was about to be tested. The tent was unfolded, and its design immediately stood out. Unlike traditional tents, there were no poles to assemble, just air tubes integrated into the structure. The air pump connected seamlessly, and with each press, the tent began to take shape. A soft hissing sound filled the air as the lightweight material expanded. Within minutes, the frame stood upright, and the tent transformed from a compact bundle into a spacious, inviting shelter. Its simplicity was remarkable. No struggling with poles, no confusion over instructions, just efficiency and ease. The ground wasn't perfectly level, which posed a minor challenge. Adjustments were made by shifting the tent slightly and using small rocks to stabilize it. The stakes were driven into the soil with careful precision, ensuring the tent wouldn't budge against any unexpected gusts of wind. The reinforced straps were tightened, pulling the structure taut. It was a moment of satisfaction, seeing it fully erected, sturdy and ready to provide comfort through the night. Stepping inside, the interior space was impressive. The high ceiling and ample floor area felt luxurious compared to traditional tents. Pockets along the walls provided storage for smaller items, and the ventilation panels promised to keep the space fresh and comfortable. It was clear this tent had been designed with practicality in mind. The fire pit was the next priority. A circle of stones was arranged as the base, and dried branches and leaves collected from nearby served as kindling. Using a fire starter, sparks quickly ignited the pile, and soon a small flame grew into a steady blaze. The warmth was immediate, and the soft crackling of burning wood added an ambient soundtrack to the evening. With the tent glowing softly in the background, the campsite felt complete. Unpacking the rest of the gear was a methodical process. The sleeping bags were unrolled inside the tent, their insulated layers promising warmth against the chilly night. Cooking equipment was set up near the fire, organized neatly for easy access. The preparation felt natural, each task blending seamlessly into the rhythm of outdoor life. Suddenly, the wind picked up, rustling the trees and sending a few leaves spiraling to the ground. The tent stood firm, its aerodynamic design preventing any flapping or instability. It was a reassuring sight, confirming the quality of its construction. Small adjustments were made to tighten the guidelines further, ensuring the setup was rock solid. As the fire burned steadily, thoughts turned to the meal ahead. The smell of fresh ingredients mingled with the earthy aroma of the forest. The joy of being surrounded by nature, with the inflatable tent standing proudly nearby, created a sense of accomplishment. The night was approaching, and the scene was perfectly set for an unforgettable experience. The fire cast a warm glow across the campsite as the evening settled in. Shadows danced against the trees, and the soft crackling of burning wood filled the air. Dinner preparations began with simple ingredients unpacked and laid out near the fire. The skillet sizzled as food was placed over the flames, the aroma of cooking filling the clearing. Each bite would be a reward for the effort of the day, a reminder of the simple joys that come with outdoor living. As the meal cooked, attention turned to the surrounding landscape. The river, now darker under the fading light, reflected the first hints of starlight. The forest grew quieter, the sounds of daytime creatures replaced by the occasional rustle of nocturnal life. Sitting by the fire, the connection to the natural world felt profound. There was no need for conversation, just the unspoken understanding that this moment was special. Once the meal was ready, it was enjoyed slowly, each bite paired with the crisp, clean air of the wilderness. Eating by firelight added a sense of timelessness, as though this simple act was part of a ritual shared by countless campers before. The food was warm and comforting, its taste enhanced by the effort it took to prepare it in this remote setting. Afterward, the fire was stoked to burn brighter, adding a layer of warmth against the encroaching chill. The inflatable tent stood nearby, its silhouette outlined by the glow. Stepping inside, the difference in temperature was noticeable. The material insulated against the cold effectively, creating a cozy retreat from the elements. The sleeping bags were inviting, promising a restful night after a day of exertion. The tent's design shone in the details. Small mesh windows allowed for ventilation without letting in insects, and the reinforced seams gave a sense of security. Lying inside, the spaciousness was a pleasant surprise. There was room to stretch out comfortably, with space left over for gear. The soft hum of the forest outside added to the feeling of safety and serenity within the tent. Looking up through the tent's skylight, the stars were visible, scattered across the clear night sky. The view was mesmerizing, a reminder of the vastness of the world beyond. It was easy to lose track of time, gazing upward and listening to the gentle sounds of the night. The tent, despite its innovative design, blended perfectly with the natural surroundings, serving as a bridge between comfort and wilderness. The fire outside began to die down, its embers glowing faintly in the darkness. Thoughts turned to the day's events, from the hike through the forest to the satisfaction of seeing the tent standing firm against the elements. There was pride in the simplicity of it all, finding joy in the little things like the sound of the river, the feel of warm food by a fire, and the quiet comfort of a well-designed shelter. The night deepened, and the tent became a haven. The realization of how well it performed, easy setup, reliable structure, and unexpected comfort added to the overall satisfaction of the trip. Lying there, the balance between modern convenience and the timeless allure of nature was clear. It wasn't about escaping life, but finding a way to live it fully, even if just for one night. As eyes grew heavy, the last thoughts were gratitude for the peace of the wilderness, for the innovation that made it more accessible, and for the privilege of being a part of it all. The fire's final glow faded outside as the world settled into silence, and the tent stood strong through the quiet hours of the night.